Hi, this is Ryan Michael Galloway with GigsterClinics.com. I'm the Alpha Gigster, as you know, and tonight I'm coming to you from the Vault Studios in beautiful downtown Houston, Texas, where I'm going to be interviewing Dave Williams.
You have to, it has to be in you. Not all of us are going to make it. It's just like race car drivers. Anyone can do 90. Get on a track with other professionals doing, like 215 miles an hour down a straightaway. That's where you separate the men from the boys.
Yeah.
Or put the musicians on stage. I grew up when there were two types of musicians, by and large. It was the young guys who wanted to play guitar and get the chicks, and the other guys who studied music for the love of music.
Mm-hmm.
And then the byproduct could have been the chicks at that point.
Yeah,
But
I'm trying to figure out which one I
okay,
was.
but yeah, but we weeded out all of the fakers, and a lot of us wound up doing a lot of session work for a lot of artists and whatnot, and we didn't see the guys with the flashy stuff, spinning the guitar around his neck, but still didn't know how to play a G chord. So I'm kind of deaf on fakers, but just come with the real work. Come with honest work. There are some people who don't play guitar well, but they're great writers. Maybe they don't have a great voice. Can you say Bob Dylan? Yeah, great writer, but there was an honesty in his performance that reached people.
It worked. I mean, if we're talking performances, I think what you have to know, and it's like trying to teach judgment, is almost impossible to do. But what you have to know is you have to know how to sell a song.
Yeah.
Every song. And, by the way,
Yeah.
it doesn't just start when you start singing. It starts when you walk on to the stage, and the attitude you have when you pick up that microphone, and the attitude you have of how you tell the audience that they're going to love this thing. It's your favorite song, and when you get done, they're going to love it too, and not, I hope you kind of like this. It's something I threw together.
You know what? I'm going to tell you why I know you're right.
Yeah.
There are a lot of acts that I've worked with where we would script a lot of their dialogue.
Absolutely.
What happens at the end of the song? Hey, wow, really glad I can make it here. Whatever it is, whatever the direction is, and the timing. How many you mentally have to know
The pace of the show.
What is your showstopper? You have to
Yeah.
figure on 18, 20, 25 seconds worth of applause. What you do in that time. Do you stand there looking silly, standing there saying thank you a million times? There are things you almost have to, you have to be gracious enough to appreciate it, but also it's like, I'm here on a mission. And it's just like you said, what you look like when you first come out on stage. And sometimes, and there are those who can teach you that. To those who don't have the natural ability to do it, and even those folks, pardon me, still need someone to help put it all in perspective.
Well,
some folks are too close to their own project.
Or even your own voice. I'll give you an example. When I was in a rock and roll band, Prima Donna, on the East Coast, we were touring up and down the East Coast. 5-man band, we all sang lead vocal and we all sang harmony.
Great.
And it was a very, very full, rich sound because we had 2 guitars and a
Great, yeah, sure.
keyboard synthesizers and drums and
That's right.
and the whole bit. Even the drummer sang, and
great.
everybody was a lead character. Was
Right.
the idea? Everybody had their character, and
Sure.
they would carry that off. We got serious enough about it that we hired an opera singer to teach us how to protect our voices and how to blend better.
Smart.
And we were doing stuff that I don't know if any other bands were doing. I've heard more since about how to do warm-ups and stuff like that. You do them together. We were doing it in the studio. We'd open our mouths and sing, and the engineer would be saying things like, I can't believe that sound is actually happening in front of me, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
And it was just because we worked on it, we practiced it.
See, but it's
the other
hard
thing
work.
we did is we hired a choreographer.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny, some of the things they discovered, but they are outside of you, right? And they can critique you in ways you can't critique yourself. Even if you're looking in a mirror, your voice is coming inside your own head. You can't hear what you sound like until somebody tells you drop your jaw, smile a little bit, and
right.
to get more brightness,
You
and
know
let
what?
the sound drop down, and sing from your diaphragm and all that stuff. I mean, you're not thinking about that, and you can't think about it without somebody beating you from the outside and letting you.
Exactly. Like one of the greatest choreographers I've had the pleasure of working with or around is a guy named Charlie Atkins, who did all of the Motown acts and whatnot. And when I was working with this group called the OJs, I had a chance to.
Them.
Well, no, but I mean,
Great band.
It was truly a great band. I was great singers, great bands. When I left the group, I had a chance to see the show from the audience,
Yeah.
and it knocked me out because I mean, when you're on stage working, and the music director, who happened to be my brother, is always introducing new music. So you're reading music, you're making eye contact with the musicians, talking to the monitor guy, the conductor's telling you to slow it down, or the singers might need it faster one night or slow. So
you don't see what it's the
you're
impact
not
is.
seeing
Right.
the full package
Yeah.
until I'm sitting out in the audience. I'm saying, wow. Now, like I said all that to say, Charlie Atkins would start his. We'd usually go to Vegas where he lived, and the guys, the singers, would go out there several weeks in advance, work out the routines. He did a lot of road work in the morning, 6 a.m. maybe when it was out running.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do the choreography if you're out of shape.
That's true.
He would also work with the records that the OJs were doing, what the live band arrangement was sounding like, so he needed to be at the band rehearsals. Drummer, I need this on such and such a cue to match whatever steps were going on, or what
They worked it hard.
Yeah, and then there are lighting directors who come in and look at the show long before it hits the stage. He puts his whole lighting scheme together based on the show. This is stuff that an artist who plays guitar may not have the ability to do, or may not.